All right, guys, what's going on? This is Off Days TV. So this week, actually for the next few weeks, I'm going to do something a little different. I am going to be an XC guy. I really want to do an XC race and podium on that, but that won't happen until, later on in the year. So this video will be out before I attempt that. But I just want to also just increase my average mileage, and just a new challenge for me. Today I'm at Black Creek and Hoover, which to me is like the ultimate XC trails. They're perfect. You can loop them so many times, and there's some other XC trails out in the neighborhood. I am on Eileen's bike because I only have Enduro bikes. Her bike is super light, and I actually changed out her Enduro tires for Maxxis Race Recons. Right now her bike's weighing in roughly around 27-ish pounds. Dude, which has made a massive difference already. Hoping today I want to try to go for 15 miles. It's about to rain, so we'll see. One thing that will be a little different about XC than Enduro and downhill is I guess that I'll be filming some of the climbing too. I mean, part of XC is the climb. I can say that this bike is already way faster and way smoother on the climbs, so that is already a noticeable difference. The weight is pretty noticeable, but you still have to pedal, so it's not like an insane difference, but still noticeable. So one thing I want to do is do the full 25-mile Oak Ass Loop without stopping or getting off my bike. That's really the goal with this XC challenge, is just to get better at overall endurance. So on my Enduro rides, I take so many breaks. But hopefully, as I get better and better with XC, I'll be taking less breaks. Oh man, that was muddy and slick. I need a remote lockout. If locking out does make a pretty big difference. But you really got to enjoy the climbs and the flat stuff on the XC, which is gonna take some adapting on my end because I normally just live for the downhill. I'm hoping that the XC practice helps with my Enduro and downhill riding, just from an overall stamina. XC is the flow sections. And these race recons are fast and they got some good grip. One thing I did invest in for this challenge is some riding shorts with the pads and everything. because being in the saddle for long periods of time will rub your ass raw. Since XC is not just trail, it consists of mixed surface and gravel, I am now going to add in some mixed surface and do some road riding. All right, so one thing I need to work on as a fat, lazy enduro rider is my standing while pedaling and climbing. So I'm going to stand. Whew. Yeah, that sucks. But I gotta do it to get better. And if you want to know where any of these little XC routes are, make sure to give me a follow on Strava.
All right, guys, now I'm finishing it off with a standing climb. This is something I've been needing to get better at. I'm just so used to just sitting down and grinding out a climb, and so I feel like I'm going to improve a lot of my times on a lot of the local trails if I'm able to sustain standing while climbing. So this is the perfect hill. It's in the back of the Black Ridge area.
Nice.
All right, so that was the end of the ride. Ended up getting 14.12 miles and 1,331 feet of elevation. So that's a pretty good ratio. Moving time was 1 hour and 22 minutes, and my average speed was 10.3, which is a lot higher than usual. So that's awesome. Pretty stoked on that. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'm going to be doing more XC videos. So yeah, I think next week I'm going to upload a Red Mountain XC ride, and then I'll just keep posting XC rides from here. Of course, I'm going to keep doing enduro and downhill rides, but I really want to get back into shape and, you know, really get my stamina and endurance up.